Hello everybody, my name is Phil, the minority shareholder, and today I want to talk about Voyager. First, before we begin talking, if you can hit the like button and subscribe, that's going to help a lot. But basically, I just want to get into some quick news on what just happened with the CEO of Voyager, Steve. So there was this interview that happened with Forbes and Steve, the CEO of Voyager, and Marathon and Grayscale. It was basically a panel of all three with Forbes interviewer. They basically asked Steve, the CEO, a couple of questions. First thing they asked on what they thought of Voyager and how Voyager began, how it started, what the mindset was. So right off the bat, the interviewer asked Steve how he began into Voyager. And Steve basically replied that the mindset behind Voyager was to bring consumers and allow them to trade into different kinds of cryptocurrencies, give the consumer a more better way of investing long-term wise. He also talked about how the stock went from 20 cents to $18 so quickly. This all began with Michael Saylor when he began talking and investing everything he had into Bitcoin. And then the institutional wave started coming, and then more retail started coming, and the price action just skyrocketed. One of the most interesting things is that he basically said that 90% of consumers hold one of the four cryptocurrencies long term. In the end, one of the major portions is he said that Voyager is in a great position. The interviewer did ask him about what he thinks about the competitiveness within this industry, and this was one of the key things that really got me intrigued in how he was going to answer, because I want to know where the mode is at. And because you have Coinbase that IPO'd, and you have other companies like Binance and Gemini that all are big competitors in this field. And Steve basically responded very well. He said that Voyager is like what he did with E-Trade and how he began. He basically began by hitting hard and putting all these benefits in to the company before all these competitors started coming in. So how did he begin? He's one of the first brokers to basically create a coin that benefits the consumer. And this is his way of taking that advantage and bringing in people before other companies, like what he did with E-Trade and how he was in a competitive advantage in E-Trade. So he made this coin called VGX, and VGX is a coin that gives you benefits within their loyalty program by giving interest, and it is gonna happen soon. It's basically gonna be like airline points, coffee points. When you go buy a coffee, you get like a little stamp or something along that line. He basically said he wants to make it into such a powerful program where you'll get benefits from debit cards, cash back, credit, cash back. So if you remember back in the day, E-Trade was one of the online brokers that went live, and there was other companies like Scottrade that tried to compete as well. But E-Trade really pushed it. They were like, let's say you were in a race and you had a 5 meter advantage from all the other racers. That is what Voyager's trying to do. They're trying to have that head start before the other runners, and hopefully they can win the race by doing that. And they have such a competitiveness because when he began, he made sure he had every type of compliance before he grew the company. So one of the big key points was getting into the NASDAQ, and Steve gave a little bit of a hint. He said that in the end of this year or maybe the beginning of next year, they're gonna get into the NASDAQ. They're going through some procedures right now, and eventually it's going to close down again. But again, he really doesn't really know how long this process is, but that's his estimation. One of the other things that they asked about was staking, and Steve responded back by saying that they finally got into with a company called Block Domain. It's a partnership where they can finally have nodes into 4 cryptos, and eventually it's going to increase. So this is going to help consumers more with interest, and it eliminates counterparty risk by doing staking instead of lending. So some good things coming in from Voyager. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I just wanted to give a quick update on Voyager. Again, if you can subscribe and like, that would be appreciated. This interview in the end was overall great. There was a talk between, it was a panelist between a miner, Marathon, and a fund called Grayscale, and a broker of crypto. So all three putting in their perspective in what's going on with this crypto world. It's a really good interview. I'll put the link below. It's actually really good. You'll find it interesting. I found it interesting. So anyways, guys, have a great day, and I hope we'll talk again very soon. Peace.